Well, good morning and welcome to lesson 31 of A Course in Miracles, again using the White Edition. Lesson 31 is I'm not a victim of the world I see. And I know from my time on social media and things like that, there's a big identity with the victim prevalent in the social landscape of the world these days, and everybody sues everybody and everybody likes to wave their fist and demand that things are changed so that they can escape that victim role. But all that happens is that in that adamant posture that you are the victim and someone else needs to pay, it's just the eye for an eye, old Jehovistic God, and it's that mentality. And what I like about the Course is that it offers you total responsibility for your karma, total responsibility for your pain in a very reasonable way, wherein you can relieve yourself of that role playing of victimhood and begin to change the nature of what it is that you're projecting out into the world, so that you no longer react and no longer attract that kind of energetic parlance that would have you believe erroneously that you're a victim, because no one really is a victim. It doesn't matter what the situation, and I know that sounds particularly extreme in the case of some things that happen in this world, but the overriding principle for your release from victimhood is that, I chose to come here. I chose to come to this third dimensional plane to experience what it's like to be separate from God. Doesn't matter what happens once you get here. It's like the choice was made before you arrived. The choice was made before time began. So everything that happens in time and space, it's like you chose to be a cyclone chaser, and now you get sucked up in a cyclone. You get the idea. So anyway, lesson 31. I'm not the victim of the world I see. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. In applying the idea, we will use a form of practice which will be used more and more with changes as indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects, one in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. Two longer periods of practice with the idea for today are needed, one in the morning and one at night. 3 to 5 minutes for each of them is recommended. During that time, look about you slowly while repeating the idea 2 or 3 times. Then close your eyes and apply the same idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of your outer. I'll read that again. You will escape from both together, for the inner is the cause of your outer. What you think in here manifests what happens out there. And that can be a little daunting at first. You realize how powerful your mind is as a co-creative force. And it sort of behooves you to be more vigilant. And that's what the purpose of this course is, to make you more vigilant, ever vigilant for the state of inner peace within yourself, so that you're more aligned to what is in your best interests and the best interests of your world, rather than serving that external world only, wherein the ego is your playmate. So as you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any thought of hierarchy among them. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on anyone in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly without any special investment on your part, As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom, and in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. The idea for today is also a particularly useful one to use as a response to any form of temptation. It is a declaration that you will not yield to it and put yourself in bondage. I'm not the victim of the world I see. And so, and I like that, where are we? Remind yourself that you're making a declaration, right? Declarations are incredible tools. It's like very similar to an affirmation, but you make the declaration that I'm not the victim of the world I see, right? And then the very next thing that happens is your ego will manifest some kind of situation, thought, or event to try and prove to you that, no, that's not right. Look, you're a victim here, you're a victim over there, you're a victim in this situation. And it's not your point to try and juggle that and work out why that's right or wrong. It's simply your point to adhere to the declaration. No, I'm not the victim of the world I see. Right? It's like standing up to a bully. It's like I'm making this declaration. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to declare this, come what may, and let the world fall in a heap around me in its attempt to try and prove that I'm not as God created me. And of course, that's a path of faith, because some of those situations will be easier to countenance than others. And but we have another 330 odd lessons to go. So I guarantee you, by the time you get to the end of this 12-month period of doing these lessons, there is going to be sufficient changes that have happened in here that the compass of your human experience will have been redirected to true north. You've been traveling south. All right, it's time to go that way again. So, all right, well, that's it. Lesson 31. And, here's my beautiful kitty. Come to look. There she is. She likes to come for a bit of a cuddle in the morning. This is Miranda Purr. Say good morning. Say good morning. Hello. All right, love you. And 32 tomorrow. I've invented the world I see. Incredible.